Am I the butthole for rescinding my offer to bake cakes for my friend's wedding and potentially ruining their relationship? To preface, this wedding wasn't going to happen until COVID clears up. I'll be using fake names. Those involved are me, 22 female, the bride/friend Cassie, 24 female, and her fiancé Adam, 25 male. Cassie has always loved my cakes and asked me to make 8 for her wedding late last year. We agreed they'd be 1-tier cakes to be used as table centerpieces. I loved the idea. We agreed that they'd be decorated a particular way that wasn't too elaborate. I was happy with the arrangement and super excited by the prospect. Early January she decided she wanted 3-tier cakes instead and wanted them decorated much more intricately. The intricacy wanted is nowhere near my ability. I don't really have the free time to learn how to do it either. I have a lot on my plate in my day-to-day life and I knew even doing the 1-tier cakes would be a little tricky but absolutely manageable. I politely said I couldn't do that and tried to offer a compromise. I offered to find a way to do 3-tier cakes, but more simplistic than she'd have liked. I also offered to get her in contact with a skilled friend of mine who I knew could do what she wanted. She'd have to pay but the price would have been extremely good and they'd be beautiful cakes. Worth every penny. She got very angry at this compromise effort. She called me selfish and told me I was sabotaging her big day. Then demanded I do it for her while getting a few of her friends to send me rude and disheartening messages. This was heartbreaking for me but I told her I could no longer do the cakes and she got angrier. We haven't talked since that until yesterday. I received a message yesterday, acting like nothing happened, asking me to do the cakes again because I owed her. She said I'd be a useless friend if I didn't. I declined and she chewed me out again saying things that were unnecessary and I'd rather not repeat. I'd had enough. This had already been stressful for me and I hated being dragged into it. I messaged Adam sending him some screenshots asking if he'd please make her stop lashing out. She was hurting but I didn't deserve the things said. I didn't get a reply until today where he apologized profusely. He told me she'd done this to another friend before me and this was the straw that broke the camel's back for him and he was going to call off the wedding until they'd been to counseling together. I thanked him for being understanding but a few hours later Cassie and her friends started harassing and threatening me. It's been horrible. My boyfriend is urging me to cut out Cassie but I can't help feeling like a butthole. If I made time to learn this whole situation wouldn't be happening, so does that make me the butthole? Am I being selfish? He's reassured me that I'm not but I could really do with an outside perspective. Edit/update. Oh my gosh, I fell asleep last night after posting this and didn't expect to wake up to a response anything like this. Thank you so much everyone for taking the time to respond. I'll try and find time to respond to some comments later. To touch on a few things I've seen mentioned, Cassie is now cut out. As are her friends. People saying I was being a doormat were completely right and those few saying I need therapy also were. I've been actively looking for a therapist I click with. I used to be good at recognizing behavior akin to this but lockdowns have taken a toll on my mental health. A few people mentioned a contract-style situation with a friend discount. I'll definitely do some thinking on that idea to try and help avoid situations like this happening again. For those saying I shouldn't have contacted Adam, I did on the sole basis that this was his wedding as well. I stand by my choice to contact him. For those mentioning getting the police involved, if any further threats happen I will. I've documented everything that's happened so far just in case. Thank you again for taking the time to hear me out, support me and give judgment. I really appreciate it. I've seen a lot of WTF wedding drama on here, but this one takes the, never mind. Not the butthole. This is exactly WTF drama. An original poster needs to send one text stop harassing me or I will call the police for harassment. That needs to be the end of it. If she or her friends doesn't stop, call the police. You have all the text to back it up. I've got to laugh at this person's logic. My fiancé has noticed I make a habit of harassing people unreasonably. For this, he has left me. I'm going to harass you about it. Bridezilla may not be the kind of person who is capable of learning lessons. This is beyond Bridezilla. She's not a bride anymore, she's just a Zilla. Just a drama monster. I seen a lot of this kind people. Not Bridezilla. Bitchzilla. When narcissistic buttholes get called out on their crafty behavior, they almost always double down. This I'm a lawyer with a nonprofit and started getting harassed by the defendant on one of our cases after he lost in court over harassing his girlfriend. Apparently news of it made its way to HR at his job, and he ended up getting fired, so he's now harassing the HR person, which is probably why he stopped harassing me and my family. He also harassed a police officer working on the case once. He's getting his comeuppance real soon though. My family is not one you want to mess with. Sounds like he is going to be receiving free room and board in the near future. 3 hots and a cot. Oh, he's real close to getting locked up on some serious charges. We're just waiting for the investigation to finish. Man. This stuff gets me. I have a motivated communicator at work who didn't get a grant approved 4 years ago. Still sends emails at least once a week threatening to sue us and go to the media. New one started this week too. I was like, oh, here we go, and I can just see the next 4 years. I hate that our culture encourages these buttholes to just keep screaming and abusing us until they get what they want. I'm in media, and when we get calls like this we have a right laugh. Yes, as I'm writing about a corrupt politician, I will totally give your petty work grievance priority, ma'am. Usually what happens is I'll yell my editor some crazy person is having issues and they'll reply, did you finish the byline yet? F off. In web media, calls are encouraged for slow work days, though. I love sometimes provoke those narcs and make them angry and show them that I don't play the games they start. Want to complain? Good luck with that. I watching you and remember the crap you done, big boy. Yeah. I actually just send them the info for our complaints process from the get-go. Our most recent motivated communicator has threatened to make a complaint 3 times in the past week. I'm like, I gave you their info, go for it. My most recent response included the line, we welcome any investigation from the complaints team. If you believe our decision is inconsistent with our guidelines, and no further communication will be forthcoming from our office regarding this matter. I'm sorry, harassing the police officer? He's going to regret that one for sure. Oh, he's totally effed. And it's been a long time coming. The whole thing involves 3 different states, so now the FBI is involved, which is crazy, haha, but once they have everything investigated and good to go, he's going to be facing some serious charges. It's just an extreme level of narcissism, thinking he could do this to anyone with no consequences. It's going to be really satisfying to see reality bitch slap him in the face on that one. I work for La and yup, this happens. It's incredible. There are a lot of people out there who are just not logical, or who have often gotten what they wanted with this I'm going to complain about you ad nauseum shtick and get infuriated when they run into someone who doesn't give into it. He sounds like he could be a bothersome comic book villain, the harasser. Yes, indeed they do. I've been living with the fallout of my narcissistic siblings' doubled-down crafty behavior for about 18 months now. This woman is a menace and her enabling friends/flying monkeys are nearly as bad. I really feel for the poster here, who is just trying to be a good friend. Adam hasn't left Cassie yet, just postponing until they have gone for counseling. Good on Adam for noticing the red flags though. If she's as narcissistic as she seems, counseling is a terrible idea. Narcs can often manipulate therapists and, ironically, therapy can give those tools to more effectively gaslight their victims. It's worse. My fiancé has noticed I make a habit of harassing people unreasonably. For this, he told me I need to work on that and go to therapy with him. Now I will harass you about it. He hasn't even left her, just cancelled the wedding because he wants to do couples counseling first to see if there's a chance to rescue the relationship, and she's still being a huge butthole. Tell them the police will be called if they continue to harass her. She should also forward all communications to Adam, so he can see this woman is bat crap crazy, and refuses to stop even though her wedding/future marriage is at risk. If he's calling to apologize, then he's already well aware that she's bat crap crazy. This probably isn't the only apology phone call he's had to make. Definitely keep forwarding everything to Adam. Op your NTA. But skip the advice to threaten to call the police. Verbal harassment of the kind you're referring to is not of interest to the police. Just either ignore Cassie and let this relationship go. She's not a friend if she treats this way. If you just must text her back again, which please don't, then tell her you're blocking her number, and then block her number. And stop thinking of ways you can make things better for Cassie, like learning to do 3-tier cakes. Her anger is not about the damn cake, it's about her sense of entitlement and being able to manipulate you into feeling bad. Personally, I'd still take the time to file a harassment report because the text messages she's receiving do fall under many harassment laws. Even if they don't do anything about it, a paper trail would be established. I do support your 2 suggestions of original poster not trying to find things to make Cassie feel better. Cassie is a crap friend who has shown her true colors and it's best to cut her out. Blocking her is an excellent suggestion as well. This isn't great advice. She definitely should report to the police if she's feeling threatened or if the harassment escalates. Yes, the police probably won't go knock on Cassie's door or anything, but it is super important to create a paper trail if the harassment continues or gets worse. Hopefully, it doesn't get worse, but if it does and she begins to feel unsafe, she will be very glad that she has a paper trail, which would make it way easier to get a restraining order if she needs to. Obviously, original poster should not call the emergency line, but she can call the non-emergency line or go into the station to have them file a written report. Also, if original poster doesn't want to actually report, bluffing and acting like she is going to is still a good option to hopefully get the text to stop. I've gone to the police with excessive calls/texts that I wanted to stop and they have sorted it out. It's a prosecutable offense where I am. I wouldn't threaten, I'd just go straight and lodge a complaint. This type of woman might just rock up to your place and slash your tires. Paper trail. It's still important to set up a paper trail because it shows that more serious threats should be taken seriously as you are able to demonstrate that their behavior is escalating. I've had to report my ex to the police twice. I told them that I didn't want them to take action as there was no evidence to prove it, but it would be there to back up any future evidence. I also did it because he was making false accusations about me and implying he was going to claim I was crazy and have our son taken away from me. My reports could therefore be used to show he has a pattern of behavior where he harasses me and then claims I'm the abuser. So those accusations were just another way of trying to control me. They agreed that was sensible. I think the point about the friend is to actually get the friend to stop though. The police won't do much, but at least original poster could point at the report and maybe then the friend will at least call off the nonsense. Op needs to throw the whole friend away at this point, but it seems the friend may not leave her alone, so could be worth it. Exactly. Op, you are nowhere near the butthole. In my opinion, you handled everything as you should have. You had an agreement, then Cassie wanted something more, which you knew you couldn't deliver. You offered her a compromise, and she refused. She then started harassing you, insulting you, and getting her friends to do the same. You should definitely cut her off, and if she keeps going, call the police. She is not a friend. Not the butthole. Or just show all the text to her ex, fiancé. She wants to double down, she gets what she deserves. That would be my approach. Send the last lot of screenshots with a message like, I don't want to seem like I'm harassing you, but I'm going to forward you screenshots of these messages as I receive them now, just so you're in the loop. That way, she sends a text, and immediately her fiancé knows about it. No secrets, no going behind his back, he just knows within seconds that the text she just sent was to original poster along with exactly what it said. Abusers don't like to be outed for their behavior. I am surprised the ex-fiancé was aware and able to recognize how toxic she was. Not often people can do that. Good for him. Not the butthole. Please stop contacting me now. I will contact Attorney General if you do not stop. Thanks. Not the butthole, block her. Block all her minions. You do not need this kind of harassment in your life. For sure. She would have been blocked on my phone after the first time, to be honest. Before blocking, tell her that all future messages from her and her friends will be forwarded to her fiancé. I love this. She should have it through her thick skull by now that he'll find out, but she doesn't seem too bright. My money is on her not having a fiancé before the week is up. I would also let her have her temper tantrum about being blocked. It'll happen, I'm almost certain of it, and forward that to the fiancé too. Then when the messages stop coming in, finally block her. Not the butthole. You are in no way the butthole here. You offered a fair, pleasant compromise, and I think she is clearly the butthole for how she's been acting. And Adam was already looking for reasons to slow this wedding down. That was not your fault at all. Hopefully you are wise enough to not follow your boyfriend's advice in cussing her out. Cassie's wedding is currently in crisis, so now would be a very poor time to pile on. Edit. Almost forgot. Ignore all her friends. They are not useful feedback in your life. And also ignore my last paragraph. I think the boyfriend is advising that original poster cut the bridezilla out, not cuss her out. Damn it, reading the words wrong. Too much Reddit today. Thank you. Secretly, you want the cuss. But we all know that will lead to no good. But we can still dream of the cussing. I often like to imagine scenarios in which I cuss someone I'm angry without lol. There's no such thing as too much Reddit. You bet even if she did the 3-layer cake, the bride would not be grateful in the least bit. Entitled Crafty Friend, sending her Hellspawn echo chamber minions on original poster takes the cake. She really just felt entitled to ops time, skills, and her own money put into the cake so that she could have professional level free cakes for her wedding. It really boils down to Cassie feeling entitled to free stuff for her wedding. By demanding Optus what she wants, despite it being out of her skill level, Cassie gets others to pay for her wedding. It's obvious that Cassie has been trying to do this with others as well, and it's too bad that the friends harassing original poster are too stupid to see that they are being manipulated by a bully too. Good for Adam for not rug sweeping Cassie's bad behavior and seeing it as the huge red flag it is. Unfortunately, this should be a huge wake-up call for Cassie, but people like her never take responsibility for their behavior or actions. She'll probably never accept that she's the issue and will continue to blame other for ruining her wedding/life. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.